I wish that weren't true. I think just because I fancy myself an intellectual, but being with my husband now, it's been fascinating seeing the world through his eyes. I feel like I've learned a lot about the way that the world works just by him informing me of his perspective. Because prior to that, it was just me being, all right, I'm smart. I'm going to go in the room. I have value. I have this, but
yeah, that's what I thought too.
Interesting.
The number one status symbol has never been how much money you have, how big your house is, how many cars you have. The number one status symbol is and will always be how hot your wife is. It don't matter what your net worth is. When you walk in a room and you have a hot wife, you get instant respect from everybody in that room. So fellas, spend a little less time grinding and trying to make money and a little more time trying to have a hot wife.
Save my husband.
Have a blessed day.
Amen. Amen.
Yes.
Amen, brother.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I think it's fascinating.
Does anybody have like a counter that doesn't agree with that or anything like that?
I saw that this week, I think, and I was kind of like, is that really the way it's worked this whole time? Nobody tells you all these things, you know.
Yeah,
because that's the male.
Also, if she's embarrassing, though, that's pretty bad.
Yes,
she's
really
hot, but if she's embarrassing, then I don't want to be around.
The thing is, I have had more men want to network with me because I would show up with an attractive woman than another guy showing up with a Richard Mille watch. Yeah. That's what I've seen. I totally agree with this. And also, the guys that work on my sales team all have hot girlfriends. Because why? Because they can close the deal. That's also a really important thing. Go ahead.
Question: what constitutes a woman as embarrassing? Like what?
I can give you.
I feel like I'm embarrassing.
Right. So it would be exceptional drunkenness. It would be talking down to my clients, talking down to me in front of other people, getting into an open argument that we could have had in private, or when we're at a table conversation, deliberately taking sides against me to embarrass me. Those are the things that would be embarrassing.
This is a good one. I don't respect men with hot wives who have no frame or leverage in their relationship. Sure. That's the key right there.
Don't have what?
Frame or leverage in
their relationship. In fact, in that case, it almost looks like the chick's just a trophy wife that he bought off. Right.
Yeah.
That doesn't like him.
I'll give you an example. If you know who Jason Statham is.
Yes, of course.
What's his wife?
I'm the beekeeper.
She is like in love with Jason Statham, and she is hot, and that's the ideal situation right there.
Yep. I wish that weren't true. I think just because I fancy myself an intellectual, but being with my husband now we've been together for 7 years. We just got married last year. It's been very interesting because this is my only long-term relationship. It's been fascinating seeing the world through his eyes. I feel like I've learned a lot about the way that the world works just by him informing me of his perspective. Because prior to that, it was just me being, all right, I'm smart. I'm going to go in the room. I have value. I have this, but
yeah, that's what I thought too.
I
feel like I'm almost like looking through a bush, like, oh my God, I never knew this, but I'm 33. Like what?
I had to coach my last girlfriend. We go to like a party and there's like a lot of like wealthy guys or whatever. I'm like, please don't embarrass me by like, listen, showing too much attention and like laughing and touching like that's not acceptable, right?
Touching other people or you?
And that could
touching
other men, right?
Okay.
And this is not something she did, but I had to like forewarn her, like, you know, this is gonna be taken. You're gonna make me look really stupid if you do this.
Really?
Right? Even if that's your like flirty personality, to everyone else, they're gonna wonder like, why? Who am I dating? Right?
Yeah, I would feel the same way. Yeah, or if it was a situation where she has a belief that's so far out of bounds,
right?
That like my friends are like, you're dating a woman who believes the Earth is flat. Like I don't understand what's going on. Like something like to that extent. I would, and again, I would say the same thing, the opposite. I'm not going to go home with her family and start espousing Keynesian economics or some shit like that. It's the same thing. It's like in front of her family, we're gonna have a unified front. I'm never gonna say something to embarrass her because she's my partner.
Right.
That's the way you should look at it. And then privately, we can have a discussion. Be like, I can't believe you said that. That's really embarrassing. That's totally fine. Having a unified front. Doing anything other than that is embarrassing.
So other than like the laughing and the touching, what other things are like?
Just basically look at Jeff Bezos' wife, and that's basically embarrassing. Look at Travis Hunter's wife. That's basically what's embarrassing.
But I think Jeff Bezos likes it.
Maybe, but anyone else would be embarrassed by that situation.
Yeah, like the whole like Leonardo DiCaprio. That clip right there. That's the equivalent of embarrassing.
Wait, what happened?
She's like flirting with him, staring at Leonardo DiCaprio while the richest man in the world.
I'd break up with that girl if that happened to me. One time.
She is married to Jeff Bezos, flirting with Leonardo DiCaprio in front of Jeff Bezos.
But it's all in the realm of plausible deniability. Like, oh, babe, I was just like having fun laughing.
He's an actor.
He's an actor. I was just enjoying time.
Hall pass.
But that right there, I can tell as a man. I can tell when it's like more than just like she was enamored. She was like really infatuated with him.
Yeah.
And showing that, it's very embarrassing for a man.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it would be very embarrassing.
I mean, I
was always taught that
I would be embarrassed by all the NFL players she dated before.
I was always taught to be friendly, so that's something that maybe to take into you know, I was always taught to be friendly to everybody. So that's one thing.
Well,
but putting the shoe,
Yeah,
put the shoe on the
there's a
other
line.
foot. What if you're in a committed relationship with a man and you take him to a party and he like with all the girls
Right.
around, like would you
If it
feel
was my
okay
friends,
about that?
so I have a really weird view. I'm kind of weird in this department where I think that the guy like could have the right to be open in my relationship. I'm just saying this for me. He could be open if he desired to, but I can't.
Like sexually open, like
Yeah,
an open relationship.
that's how I
Okay,
think.
So, then, yeah.
So if he
different.
did that in front of me, I do have like a little bit of like thing in my head where I what do they call it? Where you're like a cuck queen, where you like
Cuck
to
queen.
see like girls all over your guy, and then you're the one that gets them, and then he might pick you, he might not. I like that like mystery. It like kind of jacks me up. And that because I have like a masculine side and a feminine side.
Because you're with a guy
You're
that
so
other women
cool.
want to.
Well, yeah.
No,
and
no woman wants to be with a guy that other women don't want to fuck.
Well,
Unless you ask women,
Yes.
then they say the opposite is true.
Well, I
And
would
then
get
they
mad
keep
if
dating those guys.
I would get mad if it was like a friend of mine, like a close, like best friend, because
Yeah.
I'd be like, this is like my best friend.
Right.
Like, what are
Yeah.
you doing? Like, this is, my friend from high school. But
It's okay. If it's a stranger.
yeah, I don't know. I'm weird. Like,
No,
I don't.
that's not weird.
Like,
I that's what people say when they're in open relationships. Like typically,
I-
you want something with no strings.
But I would
Right?
want to be like not being able to do that, and then he's able to do that,
yeah,
so that
sure.
my fantasy of like
It's
rejection
fulfilled.
fantasy can get like met.
A
Well,
lot of
I don't know.
self-deprecation going over here.
I know.
Very good.
I think I have that. I don't know.
Okay.
It's so weird.